Now let us understand electrical permittivity and dielectric constant. But before that, let us understand in brief what is electric field. Though we have to understand electric field in detail in other videos, but here it is necessary to have little idea about electric field. Every charge, whether negative or positive, creates the electrical effect around itself, in the space around itself. In this space, if some other charges are brought, then these charges will feel electrical force. Positive positive repulsion, positive negative attraction. So this region or the space around the charge is called electric field of that charge. The field in which electrical effect is felt. Electric field is understood in terms of electric field lines. There are no actual physical lines, but they represent some physical reality. If we draw the lines very close, that means electric field is strong. If separation between the lines is large, that means electric field is weak. If all the lines are in the same direction, then it means electric field is unidirectional. If the directions of electric field lines are random, it means the electric field is not unidirectional. So this is little about electric field. Now what is electrical permittivity? Again we learn one more little small topic, dielectric medium. Dielectric medium. So these are the mediums which are naturally insulator or very minutely conducting. But when they are kept in external electric field, something strange happens. The dielectrics start conducting if they are insulating, or if they are minutely conducting, their conductivity grows when it is placed in electric field. How? So plus and minus are called electrical poles. Plus and minus are called electric poles. Like in magnet, north and south are called magnetic poles. So in some molecules, the negative charge and positive charge both overlap. So we feel that there is no pole because negative and positive will cancel out each other's effect. Such molecules are called non-polar molecules. Whereas in some molecules, these are separated. So we feel separate existence of negative and positive poles. So such molecules are called polar molecules. Polar molecules. Now, whenever any dielectric, polar or non-polar dielectric material is kept in external electric field, suppose this is a dielectric medium, negative and positive, negative and positive, negative and positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive. If such non-polar dielectric material is placed in external electric field, we must be knowing that the electric field is directed from the positive charge towards negative charge. This is some plate that is positively charged. This is some plate or object that is negatively charged. So electric field runs from positive to negative. And in such electric field, one non-polar dielectric medium is placed. So negative and positive, they will now separate. The negative will come on positive side, the positive will come on negative side. So all negative charges are attracted towards positive side. All positive charges will come on right side because they are attracted by negative plate. Now in the interior of the material, positive negative, positive negative, positive negative, positive negative, positive negative, positive negative, they are so close that they cancel out each other's effect. So we will be left with negatives on left side and positives on right side. Due to this, one more electric field is created or produced inside the material. It is called induced electric field. This is external electric field. Always induced electric field is opposite to external electric field, and this induced field is less than or equal to external electric field. Instead of dielectric material, if we place a conductor, maybe a copper or aluminum, then they have negative free electrons and positive immobile charges. These negative electrons, in the absence of electric field, they keep roaming around in the material. But when they are placed in electric field, they all come on one side towards positive. So this becomes positive and the other side becomes relatively positive. This becomes negative, the other side becomes relatively positive. So again, the electric field is induced. Now how strong is this electric field will depend on how many free electrons are present in the material and how strong is external field. Okay, in the previous case of dielectric medium where the negative and positive were separating, how much they separate, how much charges are induced, it again depends on the nature of dielectric medium and the strength of external electric field. But one thing is sure, that opposing electric field is induced, which is always less than or equal to external electric field. So net field inside the material will reduce. If this external field is suppose 10 Newton per Coulomb and induced electric field is 3, suppose external field is 5 Newton per Coulomb and induced field is 3 Newton per Coulomb, then out of 5, 3 is cancelled. So net field inside the material will be, net field inside the material will be 2. 5 minus 3. 1, 2, 3. 3 electric field lines. 5 minus 3 is equal to 2. So outside electric field is stronger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And inside the material there are only 2 field lines. That means when this electric field is trying to enter in this medium, the strength of the field is reducing. This field finds it difficult to enter in the medium. Now, how easily electric field can enter into the medium, it depends on how much electric field is induced inside it. Stronger the induced field, lesser will be the net electric field. So that is how whenever an object is kept in external field or whenever electric field tries to enter into a medium, I repeat, whenever a conductor is placed in external electric field, or whenever electric field tries to enter in a medium, that medium gets polarized and induced electric field is produced, which is in the direction opposite to external electric field. So the net electric field inside the material will reduce. If there are more number of field lines outside, then there will be less number of field lines inside the material. This is how the materials respond to external electric field. Now, inside the material, how much is the reduction of electric field? That depends on material to material. So, here comes the importance of electrical permittivity. Electrical permittivity is denoted by epsilon. It tells us about how easily electric field can enter into any medium, how any medium responds to external electric field. Whenever a medium or conductor is placed in external electric field, how do these materials respond to external electric field? It is understood by electrical permittivity. If epsilon, if permittivity is high, then induced field is high. Opposing induced field is high. So net field will be low. So compared to outside, the electric field inside will be less. Now some materials oppose the electric field strongly. Some materials they don't oppose the external electric field strongly. They allow the field to enter inside them. So this opposition is understood or estimated by comparing electrical permittivity of any medium with respect to electrical permittivity of vacuum. Vacuum means no medium, no atoms. There are no atoms which can be polarized. Polarized means negative overlapped with positive. When they are kept in external electric field, the negative and positive get apart. So this is non-polar. When they are placed in electric field, the poles develop. So we said that the material has been polarized. So if electric field tries to enter in the vacuum, vacuum doesn't have any atom. So if there are no atoms, there will be no polarization. There will be no opposing induced field. Inside the vacuum, there will be no induced field produced. So if opposing field is zero, the external electric field can freely enter into such medium. Okay, whereas in any medium other than vacuum, there will be some opposing field. Maybe very less, but there will be some opposing induced field. So the net field will be lesser in any medium than vacuum. So this is permittivity. Permittivity of any medium relative to permittivity of vacuum. Permittivity of vacuum is denoted by epsilon 0. Permittivity of any other medium is denoted by just epsilon. This ratio is called relative electric permittivity of that medium. Like relative electric permittivity of water is electric permittivity of water compared with electric permittivity of vacuum. Suppose, just suppose, we have one medium. Its relative electrical permittivity is 8. It means its permittivity upon permittivity of vacuum is 8. That means its electrical permittivity is 8 times epsilon 0. Electrical permittivity shows that how strongly it opposes the field. Okay. Now we have another medium whose electrical permittivity, relative electrical permittivity is 16. That means its electrical permittivity will be 16 times that of vacuum. So 8, 16, 2 times. That means second medium will oppose the electric field with double strength to the external electric field. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 field lines. This is medium 1. Medium 1. So, inside the medium, there will be lesser electric field lines than outside because of induced opposing field. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let us suppose there are just 6 field lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are 8. These are 6. Why? Because inside this material, induced field, say 2 field lines are induced. So 8 out of 8, 2 will be cancelled. So only 6 field lines will be left. The electric field is reduced inside the material. This is medium 1. Medium 1, whose electrical permittivity was 8 times that of the vacuum, epsilon 0. Now, in the same electric field, we are placing medium 2, whose electrical permittivity is 16 times the air or vacuum. So epsilon 2 is greater than epsilon 1. Medium 2 has higher electrical permittivity than medium 1. Higher. How much? Double. So it will oppose the external field with double strength. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here we will have half of them. Just 1, 2, 3. Okay. Opposition of this medium is greater than opposition of this medium. So greater the opposition to external field, lesser will be the electric field lines. This is the meaning of electrical permittivity. Now this ratio, which is called relative electric permittivity, is also called as dielectric constant, capital K, of any medium. Dielectric constant. Both are same. These are just two names of one quantity. There is one third name, specific inductive capacity. Specific inductive capacity of the medium. SIC. SIC, dielectric constant and relative electrical permittivity. These are three names of the same quantity. Electric permittivity of any medium is greater than electric permittivity of vacuum, because vacuum doesn't get polarized. So inside the vacuum, no electric field is induced which can oppose external field. So external field can freely enter inside it. Now apart from vacuum, all other mediums, inside all other mediums, there will be some inducing electric field inside them. So the net field will be lesser. That means higher the permittivity, higher that medium will oppose to external electric field. Now, vacuum, the relative electric permittivity of vacuum, epsilon R of vacuum is equal to electric permittivity of vacuum, which is epsilon 0, divided by electric permittivity of vacuum, because we compare always with electric permittivity of vacuum. So that is 1. Now relative electric permittivity of any medium, M for the medium, is equal to electric permittivity of that medium upon electric permittivity of vacuum, and epsilon is always greater than epsilon 0. So numerator is big, denominator is small, so that will always be greater than 1. So the conclusion is relative electric permittivity or the dielectric constant of the vacuum is 1, and for any other medium it is greater than 1. Now air has dielectric constant K. For air dielectric constant is 1.000059. So it is very close to 1. So the air or the free space, or vacuum, these three words are interchangeably used. Instead of vacuum we take air, instead of air we take free space. All have nearly the same dielectric constant. So this was all about electric permittivity, dielectric constant and electroscope. That's all for the video. We will meet up in the next video. Till then, stay healthy, stay happy, keep learning and grow in the life. Bye bye.